That's fun. Oh my gosh, I got this thing on, that'd be so embarrassing.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Fiscal Court. Before we open, Chris, do you mind opening us up in a word of prayer?
We're thankful for this day and for this opportunity to come and conduct the business of Logan County, Lord. And Lord, just ask that you guide us in our decision making. And Lord, just ask that you protect our citizens, protect those that work for the county. And Lord, just thank you for the blessings that you give us each and every day in the beautiful weather. And Lord, just be with us now as we proceed on and be with those that lead us. All these things I ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
And call this meeting to order by saying our pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, good morning. Good morning.
Did you get my message?
Online or present.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and start this proceedings by getting approval of the minutes. This will be the 6:11 and the 6:17 minutes.
We're doing them together or individual?
You really don't matter.
Make a motion to accept both minutes for the June 11th and what was the other one?
The June 17th special call.
17th special call meeting.
Yeah.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yeah.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. We have an amendment, need a motion to approve, to amend the agenda to approve a list of budget changes located on on your drives as item number 6, to add the review of the administrative code as item number 10, and add a discussion on whether to salvage or retain a 2022 Dodge Durango that is considered a total loss from the Logan County Sheriff's Department as item 11.
So moved.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
There's no second. No discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Next up, I have a representative from the chamber to address the court or present to the court. The chamber from lead and from two.
Did you get the email from Judge Hendricks?
Crew this morning.
Oh,
How
yeah,
are y'all?
he called me very next day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, read notice.
So we're here this morning just for a little fun entertainment and introduction before you start something more serious. This is kind of lighthearted, but very important. So as representative from LEAD, Tourism, and the Chamber, we've been working together to combine our efforts because we're all working for the same goal of marketing Logan County. Different strategies for marketing, but we all need to market together. And so with this goal of attracting new visitors, businesses, and residents, we have decided that we would like to present a brand for Logan County, something that would be recognizable and that we could use as a logo consistently through various means, different media, print, different ways that we could all be recognizable and use it throughout the county in different entities. And so with much thought and trial and error and several different attempts to make a great logo, we have come up with something that we'd like to see if the court would give us their stamp of approval and just maybe their nod to accept what we've designed as something that we could use to recognize and represent Logan County. So we want to pass this out just so you can have a little idea of it. I just have a few of these. I don't have one for everybody, but here's a couple of these.
You can't look at this before I pass it?
Do you? No.
Do you? I've got one of those.
Oh,
That you did. Okay, no, fine.
So in front of you, you see the logo at the top, and hopefully you recognize the weather vane. So many Logan Countyans know the story of the weather vane atop the courthouse, and whether that was shot by Jesse James himself or a member of his gang.
But we hope that as this travels outside of Logan County, this is a conversation starter for you all as you attend conferences, for us as we attend meetings, you know, a conversation piece that we can all share. This logo, we hope, can be used in many different ways in conjunction with current logos. So just like the chamber already has a logo, LEAD already has a logo, this is just an additional logo to kind of tie all of our organizations together for one brand. We see this on social media, we see this on apparel, as you can see on your second page there, kind of some mock-ups of what that looks like. So we hope that you all will get on board and we can kind of start pushing this out. The pamphlets that you see there are a new tourism brochure that we have worked to put together. These are just the preliminary, but we just wanted to show you kind of the mock-up of what that will look like going forward on some of our print media.
And the logos are customizable to each organization. If you want to take the, like on the pamphlets you see where it says Logan County, Kentucky, if that was going to be something that we're going to pass out in mass, we would put Kentucky on there. If it's going to be on your email signature, maybe you just make it look like the front page of the handout where it doesn't say Kentucky, but you could put Logan Fiscal Court, or you can put Magistrate District 6, or you could make it customizable. And the chamber has agreed to house all the logos and distribute them if that would be the desire of any entity. As the chamber, we know the importance of a clear logo that has not been copied and pasted 17 times. So if you or your organization, and this goes for all county organizations, if they want to use this logo, just reach out to me. My email is on that sheet, and we can get you a fresh file for that.
Yeah, we had this meeting about this 2 weeks ago, and you know, I think they come up with a really good idea. It kind of gives us a representation. It tells us what we. It shows. It's something just like a Coca-Cola logo or McDonald's logo or any other logo. Once you recognize it, I think it's something. So
Looks good.
I like it.
Great.
And my first request is to send it to Scott to be put up on our website as our logo.
Awesome. We can do that.
All right.
You know, it takes the impetus of someone willing to start that. Because otherwise, oh, wouldn't that be a good idea? And then it goes a year or two, wouldn't that be a good idea? So you have done that. You have taken the impetus, you've run with it, you've come up with something. And I will definitely propose that this be put out in my church and various places to support you in your endeavor. This is wonderful, girls. Thank you. And yes, you are girls.
We'll take it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
If we can just have the brochures back, that's all we need. Yes, because we have very
Thank
limited
y'all.
of these.
Appreciate what y'all done there. Looks
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks.
Thank
I like
you.
it. Plus, it's got the story that goes along with it. I like it.
That's right. Something to talk about.
That bullet
All right.
hole, I love that.
Thank you, ladies. Moving on, Amanda, well, let's go ahead to approval of bills first.
Jailer Toomey on, what page is that? Don't even tell me. Oh yeah, page 7. Why is there 2 bills for Western Kentucky Correctional Health? Don't we pay that once a month?
Yes, typically, yes.
But there's 2 of them on there. One of them's $23,628, and the other one's $28,000.
That's for the new addendum being added. They always send the bills out a month in advance. So come July, that will be the cost to cover that, the new expenses that's added on to the medical contract that we talked about, to cover the MAT, that medication, treatment, and other items that's covered, so.
Does that cover the medical?
Yes, yes, but that's what the medical contract will go to cover those new areas, that the addendum covered.
Is
But
that
they
an
always
issue?
send that out a
So what you're saying is the 23,628 is our June regular billing?
Yes, sir.
And you're saying the 28, which is $5,000 difference almost, which
Yes,
is
sir.
what I remember, somewhere around $4,000, $5,000,
Yes, sir.
that is for July.
That is for July.
So there won't be a bill in July.
No, sir. We'll get one for July, late July for August. They always send it out ahead of time.
You're trying to get ahead of time.
Well, that's when they send it to us, and then I.
Can't be. Once you get ahead, you're ahead. So the 23,000 would be what would have been the old
Yes.
July bill, and 28 would be the new one, so we would only pay one, not both of them. If they bill in a month in advance,
Well, they
there's
should-
never a time you double bill unless it's at the beginning of the contract, which,
But I'm just saying that will cover, the 28 will be the bill for July, and then in August we'll get which will be the exact same. It'll be that's the new price to cover the new
July, we're gonna be
additions
paying August.
to the contract.
What he's saying.
So you're paying two
so,
this month.
so
is what
tell me
you're
what the 23 is.
Yeah,
What
I know.
month is 23?
It's like,
June.
yeah, we've doubled up.
And not if they're a month in advance, like
Yeah.
he's describing.
saying. Well, you're trying to change it from existing to a month in advance. Is that what I'm
That's-
understanding?
They just sent it to us, so we know what that new billing would look like.
So now you're saying we're
Maybe
being
we'll
paying
hold
two
that
in this month by doing it this way.
What'd you say?
bill. So maybe we need to hold that bill and pay it next week.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, because if they're a month in advance, that 23,628 would have been,
For May.
no, it'd been for July if they're a month, for August, July if they were a month in
It
advance,
says
right?
July 2024 medical. It says July on there, so,
That's the 28th,
yeah.
but the one above it says June.
That's just the new rate, that he wanted to get at, so.
But technically, we wouldn't have to pay it till July, because that's when it's due.
No.
All I'm saying is if we pay this now, we won't pay a bill.
In
We should
July.
not see a bill in July.
Yeah.
Just
Or
need
if
to
we do,
make
we're
sure.
just always going ahead.
You can't be always just,
They're billing us in June.
yeah.
Well, he's saying he's gonna get August bill next month.
Okay. But we need to look, just make sure they're not double billing us. My question is, have we not,
Did we pay for June and May? It'd be the
yeah,
question.
did, exactly what he just said, thank
We
you.
haven't, Thomas.
We had, okay.
Typically, we get it a month in advance, but I didn't get that bill last month, so I paid two bills this month.
There was a
Right.
bunch of rebilling.
There we go. Okay.
We didn't get.
That
Thank
makes
you,
sense.
Amanda.
Thank you very much. I
Made
just
that-
wanted to make sure we wasn't
That's,
paying.
that's Hannah.
Oh, I'm used to Amanda sitting there. I should have a little picture of Amanda right there. I'm sorry, Hannah. Sorry.
Okay.
You're right. And she was nice. She responded to anything.
She's been called worse.
This morning.
So that still bothers you?
No, I just wanted to make sure we wasn't, paying.
Double bill?
twice.
Okay.
All right, is there any other questions?
No.
If not, I need a motion in a second.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did we make one?
No.
No, he's
motion
asking
wasn't
for
made.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Chris and a second. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker.
Yes. Next up is our treasurer's report. Amanda's out, so we get Hannah this
all
time.
right, Anna.
Amanda.
Okay. First thing we have is a list of budget transfers we need to get approved.
Not this time.
Always is.
This will be the last one.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget transfers totaling $117,526.62.
Oh, we took a chunk.
Have a motion, to have a second?
Second.
Second by Jamie. No discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker.
Yes.
Next thing, we have a few cash transfers we need to get approved.
The first one, we need to transfer $240,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the general fund.
So moved.
Second.
I guess, sorry, Curtis, I can't hear you over here. I have a motion,
But if we ever
second.
need that.
No further discussion, roll call.
we're using it
Davenport.
every month.
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
That's
Yes.
part of it.
Harper,
Okay.
Yes.
So you've been in this long.
Crawford.
I know that. Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Yes, especially.
Next, we need to transfer $250,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the road fund.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Next, we need to transfer $200,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the jail fund.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. No discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Next, we need to transfer $29,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the LGEA fund.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Last, we need to transfer $68,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the E911 fund.
I make a motion to accept that.
Have a motion and a second. No discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
Do you have Montgomery Road now? That used
Next
to be-
up is roadwork
You
request,
got it.
District 1.
Okay, we got an issue I gotta talk to you about.
Okay.
District 1, continue maintenance. Appreciate everything.
District 2.
Boers Road off of Shaco Road, up there, the first house on the left, it's, the blacktop has broke off, and into the people's yard, and they can't mow, and it's made the ditch bigger, or deeper with the big tractors and stuff. Please see if you can give some attention to that. Also, Mortimer Road, across from 1050, there's a big tree stump, and I think, I'm pretty sure it's in the easement of the road, so it needs to be gotten off the edge of the road, or some trucks and big tractors and stuff are gonna hit it. But thank you for everything you've done, and you worked hard out that way.
District 3.
Hey, we did, find out anything about that PG Blick Road? Is that a state issue? I need to, about the shoulder and, put the channel lining. Do I need to say something to those guys?
We're literally getting that direction.
Oh.
We'll get it here.
Oh, no, I didn't know if you were questioning about whether that was a state issue, so.
We've been working in that area some, we will get it.
Okay. Well, if I need to let them know, let me know or something. Need to talk to you, I guess, about some additional requests on Whistlertown, about some gravel on some shoulders near mailboxes. So I'll try to get some clarity on exactly where that's at, so. But otherwise, thanks for all you've been doing.
District 4.
Oh, but on R.L. Stewart Road, there's a few trees that I need to try to get cut where they can get their equipment in and out. The people farming at the back actually had to take up a few mailboxes just to get through them. They had to put them back when they come back through. So, and then at the end of that road, I'm not sure if you've seen the spot back there that needs to be patched. Do you think that would be a candidate for our new machine, or you need to look at that and see if that's too big of an area?
I look at trees anyway, see how they do it. I'll look at it too.
Okay. All right, then I had a couple of washout spots on Lack Road, and I wasn't sure if y'all been through there with the grader. If you hadn't, just try to get that. And then have we got our speed limit signs in yet?
No, I can't order them.
Okay.
Money.
Okay.
Last week.
All right, right, other than that, the mowing looks good, and everybody appreciates the mowing, and continue maintenance.
District 5.
Forgive me for yesterday's list. I know it was extenuous, but I went through my county district and looked at streams, rivers, wooded areas, and I thought, those are gonna be the mosquito areas, so I sent you all.
We'll start spraying tonight.
Okay.
They'll get it the next few weeks.
Thank you, I'm grateful. Also, of course, first priority for me and for my district is to help us repair the mess that was made on Quarry Road.
We'll let it go, get it moving here before we can get in there.
I know that it's gonna require tree removal, but they have a legitimate concern. Thank you.
6.
Warren Road off of Highway 100. I need to get the Momax out there. It's not a very highly traveled road, but the tree limbs and the fence rows are just all the way over, especially towards the back. They're all the way over. We just need to take the boom.
Yeah, we got the east area, that round down, so I'll get into it right here, each call.
Okay. And thanks for everything. Everything looks good. Appreciate you.
Yeah, well, I want to say thank you to these road guys. They've worked their tails off, and they're doing the best they can with what they've got. They got called out last night for a big tree that just randomly fell across one of the roads. So just know they're working their tails off and doing everything they can, and I'm appreciative of it. I see them every morning just about. And all right, need a motion to accept road work.
Motion to approve road work request.
Second.
We got a second. No discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right, moving on to elected officials. First up is Sheriff Stratton.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Look at that smile.
Is that everybody? Our clerk, Stacy, do you have anything for us,
She
Stacy?
said, I'll be back.
All right, well, we'll move
Amazing.
on along then.
They all have.
Jailer, Josh Toomey, I knew you. We all knew you'd have something, sir.
Oh, Tommy let it down, I tell you.
The streak.
That's all right.
Real quick, I'll just give you my numbers, and then all I've got today is contract updated. But as of this morning, 160 total, county side 90, state 66, 39, actually on our state side. One out of county and one out of state awaiting pickup. All I have is, Ms. Lee, I guess this got added this morning, Judge, all right. The updated contract for the deputy and workers for the state transportation cabinet. It's on your iPads. All I have.
That's further down on the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
Is it on the agenda? I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah.
But that was all I have. It's just the last didn't reflect the updated salary schedule and all the, to cover the deputy, so.
Right,
they got-
basically, the contract you guys approved at last meeting, they had the wrong numbers on there, and we have them corrected, and we're gonna ask for approval later on the new business. Okay. All right. Anything else, sir?
That's it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
By the way,
Yes, ma'am.
he represented our county very well
He did.
yesterday at Brad.
He did, done a wonderful job. All right, moving on, department heads. Ginger, nothing? Denise? Denise Shoulder from Archives?
So, this past Friday, I attended a really quick reception with the Kentucky Colonels, and I am so excited to share that we got our $4,350 grant from the Kentucky Colonels for the HVAC unit replacement at the vault in the archives.
Repeat that amount, 4,000.
$4,350, which is half of the expense of replacing that unit.
Good deal, good deal.
So
The squeaky wheel.
And the timing couldn't be better.
it couldn't be better. So I notified the company yesterday that we did get it. We can't start anything before July 1st.
Right.
Everything has to be done, paid for before October, and then county gets reimbursed for the $4,350, half of.
Yay for you, Denise.
And I think at this point I'm done because I feel like my luck is wearing out in 2024.
No, wait a
your
minute,
work on
it's
that.
just starting, it's just starting, it's a new budget year, starting next month.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to push my luck. So that's what I have today. Anybody have any questions?
No, thank you.
Appreciate your work on all that.
Thank you.
All right. Nathan, did you say you said you didn't have anything at this point, or do you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Wow, this is amazing.
What is going on here today?
I have something a little later that'll come up.
I got you. Road supervisor, Pee Wee, do you have anything for us? Nothing? I believe today's your birthday though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday. Yeah. All right, lead us off, Jason. Lead us off. I know. I don't want to lead you, but I'll sing with you.
Well, I'd sing. I'd sure sing for you.
Well, regardless, happy birthday, sir. Thank you
Yeah,
for all
after,
you do.
after you get all the road work requests done for the day, you can take off.
And you can take all, that's right. I don't see anyone else, or am I missing somebody? Just making sure. Okay, well then. Wow, that was quick. Judges' announcements, let's move on then. Wow, that was quick. I don't think we've ever been here this quick. June 29th, free fishing tournament for kids 16 and younger, starting at 8 a.m. Trophies awarded to the biggest fish, first, second, third, rod and reels, and most fish caught by boy and girl. Prizes for all, free burgers, hot dogs, and waters, open to the public. This event will be held at 43 Ambets Lane in Lewisburg, excuse me. Spay and Aid of Kentucky semi-truck distribution. There'll be a semi-truck distribution of pet beds beginning at 9 a.m. at 200 Market Square right here behind the courthouse. There's no financial or residential restrictions for this distribution. All instructions will be listed out there on their Facebook page. The clerk's office will be open for vehicle business only from 9:30 to noon on June 29th. That's this Saturday. If you receive a CPVA message on your reminder card, please go to the PVA office before they close on Friday afternoon to get that taken care of before you get the vehicle taken care of on Saturday. Also, the June 29th Party at the Park, the Logan County Chamber of Commerce in partnership with the City of Russellville presents Party at the Park, Independence Day celebration at the Russellville City Park. We'll have food trucks, live music by 101st Airborne Rock Band beginning at 6 p.m. with fireworks at dark. This event is free for all of the community and sponsored by Independence Bank. June 30th is Auburn's Freedom Celebration. Auburn Tourism to host Freedom Celebration beginning at 6 p.m. There will be food trucks, inflatables, and fireworks once again. That's June 30th. I'm assuming that's at Auburn Park. Moving on, July the 2nd, Colonel Benjamin's Logan County Sons of the American Revolution meeting will be held at the McCuddy Place located at 268 Flint Ridge Road, Russellville, July 2nd at 5 o'clock. July the 4th, Bob and Joyce Guine 4th of July Kitty Parade. The annual Bob and Joyce Guine 4th of July Kitty Parade begins at 10 a.m. on West 8th Street. The Colonel Benjamin's Logan Chapter Sons of the American Revolution invite and encourage all children and families to dress patriotically and decorate their non-motorized toys, bicycles, battery-operated vehicles, skateboard, scooters, etc. To be part of the Kitty Parade. Assembly will begin at 9:30. Lemonade cookies will be passed out along the parade route. Post Oak Church will be on-hand grilling for everyone. And the last thing I got, July the 6th, we will be having a CAUS monthly testing, weather provided. If we have inclement can't say that word. The
Inclement.
weather's bad, we will postpone that. All right, that is judge's announcements. We have no reports, so at this point, we go to citizens' participation. If we have anybody, any citizen wants to speak to the court, now's the time.
I'm here kind of on behalf of all my neighbors and myself. We're experiencing the brunt of the issue on Quarry Road, and we understand that's mainly caused by a contractor. And I spoke with Pee Wee. We think it might be kind of a habitual negligence on that particular contractor's part with regards to road safety and road right-of-way upkeep, things that he's responsible for. And you know, I've been around contracting. I've done road work for a road contractor. We, as a road contractor, Scotty's out of Warren County, they always had to do everything that they could to ensure road safety. When we left a job, we had to ensure that cones were in place or things were kept safe. And well, this contractor's ignored that, and that's what Ann spoke about. But I'd like to know that maybe there was some sort of function of government in place to ensure that contractors are responsible for road safety when they work on road right-of-ways, and if not, there's some kind of consequence for when they don't. And it might make more sense when some of our neighbors come up here and speak. But anyway, that's all I wanted to know. I've been told that it's hard to ensure that that a contractor does what they're supposed to. Maybe we need more people in government, a different function of government. What was it you said, Ann?
Well, I think Joe might be able to address this better than me, because I just asked him about that.
And this, I think, is a fairly new issue that has come up, I understand, with this fellow. We did talk about it at a prior meeting.
We've had a lot of contractors doing a lot of work for the last several years, and it's only now an issue, is what you're saying.
So, at least, I'm not saying it hasn't been an issue, it just hasn't been something that's made it to my level. I'm sure in your line of work, there's been a lot of talk about us updating our building code and things like that for similar reasons, to where we have people doing quality work. And in that, there would be a permitting process and then also somebody to monitor it. So that's kind of the process that I would envision here. And if we're planning to do that soon, that would be something good to roll into this. But at present, it would be difficult with the way we're structured to have a person identified to go out and, for lack of a better word, babysit that until, you know, we make sure they get it all done. I do think it's a good goal, and I do think it's on the court's plate. And for your specific issue, I'm glad that the road department's going to get out there as quickly as they can. You could pass an ordinance on it, and I think we should, but I also think we need to look bigger and pass an ordinance that we can actually have teeth to and use. So that's kind of where the issue is if we were to pass this ordinance, who's going to be the one responsible for going out and doing all of that?
Yeah, I understand that we may be spreading our government, our local government, a little thin as it is, but I also want to bring up if we're going to have the road department do this work, and you know, that's what Ann said, I really appreciate their work, but I'd kind of like to know that the taxpayers and the county are sort of reimbursed for things that they have to go out and do that are the direct result of a contractor ignoring what the road department asks them to do. I mean, I just think that's reasonable. I don't think I could get away with going out and digging a pothole out here in the courthouse parking lot and getting away with not being responsible either directly or financially for making sure it's filled back in.
Yeah, I think
Well worded.
I think we're all in agreement with that. And you know, we were at a meeting yesterday and I had several other judge executives around me, and I talked to them about, you know, Ann was with me, and we talked to them about this exact issue. And it's not comforting to know that other counties are dealing with the exact same thing we are. They got irresponsible contractors out here doing work, and they're able to get away with it. I am all for pushing some type of ordinance, but it's just a matter of getting it together.
I hate for the brunt
of the consequences and new rules and laws to fall on a whole host of other contractors that so far, like Joe Ross said, have been doing work in a responsible fashion and sort of been playing by the rules and then, asking people what needs to be done before they do it.
Right.
I think a lot of it too is in this day and time, people have lost respect for others.
Yeah.
What they do, it affects others.
Right.
They don't care near as much.
Regard for safety, regard for.
They don't care near as
public
much
good.
now as they did years ago, how they affect their neighbors or how they affect others. People just do not, to my opinion. It's just,
Well, like
it's different.
Like we've said, like Joe said, it hasn't been an issue until now, and we've had a lot of houses built in Logan County over my 30-year lifetime. And if that hasn't been an issue before, then undoubtedly we've had a lot of contractors who have worked with good common sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Still have some that do. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank
We are
you,
grateful.
sir. I appreciate
And
it.
Beverly, did you and Catherine want to come up too?
First of all, I just want to say that I understand it's not the county's problem. I mean, it's the county's problem, but it's not the county's mistake. You all did not create the problem, and I understand that. And Ann, you have been wonderful in trying to help get it resolved. We started talking with her in April, mid-April, about the problem because we have a business, Blacklit Creek Market, and every year we have a festival. It's July 27th. We average, the last 3 years, we've had 1,500 to 2,000 people at the festival. Never have had a issue with anyone. It is a narrow road, but they can always get by. Trucks can pass cars, no problem. I don't know if I brought pictures for you all to pass around and see. It's about 2/10 of a mile, the area that's a problem. And it's a 28-inch drop off in several sections. There's no way that two vehicles can pass safely. And our concern is July 27th, we're going to have 1,500, 2,000 people in and out the road. We've got food trucks, a mobile dairy bringing livestock.
Under the road, it's collapsing already.
I'm worried about how the traffic's going to get by, what's going to happen. Is somebody going to end up off in the ditch? And my really big concern is, I have to think about what if there's an emergency and we need an ambulance? How is an ambulance going to make its way through that? So I guess I'm asking since it is a county road, what can you do to help navigate that?
So Pee Wee and I, road foreman, have spoke about this. I've spoke with Ann, I've spoke with Mr. McPherson also about it. And what we have determined, we're waiting for that road to cure. It's
Right.
a fresh blacktop. We're kind of in the pinch ground between 2 points.
Yes.
So what I've instructed them to do is as soon as that blacktop gets to where the foreman considers it cured, they're going to go out there, and I gave them instructions to do whatever it takes to fix that shoulder to make it right. As long as we're within.
How long does it take to cure?
This weather.
As hot as this weather is, it probably takes, 2 to 3 weeks at minimum?
It's a little longer than usual.
Yeah, a little longer.
We'll get it probably there in about the next few weeks. It's some rough now.
What's the big difference on the opposite side?
So you said,
The opposite side is not as bad, but it does have some problems over there because of the drainage that has been created and washed out. And there's mailboxes now on the opposite side because the postmaster, they can't get their mail delivered on the correct side. So the mailboxes are moved and they're not even off the road enough.
I will stay on the road crew.
Okay.
And do the best we can to make sure that
Okay.
that is addressed before July 27th. How about that? That's the best I can do.
Okay, if it's not before July 27th, what can you do? Because I need to have a plan in place. And we have a lot of local businesses that are vendors, they're setting up, they've been building up their product and their inventory for this. And if I can't safely pull this off, I need to know now.
We will do everything in our power to get it done before
Okay.
July
If it's not,
So
could I ask?
Did the contractor dig this ditch? Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Yes.
Pee Wee met me, if you don't mind, I'm gonna interrupt.
Oh, that's fine.
Pee Wee met me there after I'd looked at it several times and it got worse and worse and worse. And we said, everything was washing. We said, you've got to have a ditch, but you've got to do it in compliance. There needs to be a shoulder and then the ditch. He says, I'll take care of it. He dug the ditch almost directly under the road because he didn't want to take trees out.
And I've instructed him to do whatever it takes to get that ditch put
That
back.
needs to be fixed, and I'm like Mr. McPherson, that, give the contractor the
You all can
option
have
to
those.
get it fixed quickly, because that is the county's right of way, and, get it back, because he's just ruined the public road. The taxpayers now fixing to
Yes.
spend tens of thousands of dollars fixing, and it's not ours to fix, and if he doesn't fix it soon, then we need to fix it and send him the bill.
Exactly.
I mean, that's unacceptable. I
It's
mean,
compromising the road.
he is, yeah, he's fixing to have to buy repaved Quarry Road, what it looks like to me, but
I mean, it's just
somebody
crumbling
falls
on the
off
edge.
1 inch off the side of that road, and you're gone.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, it goes
You
straight
just
down.
totaled the car.
yes.
That's
So-
not acceptable at all. I mean, I put the contractor on notice to get that fixed.
Well, the worst problem is it's being dumped on Pee Wee.
Right, absolutely. It's being
And
dumped
Pee
on
Wee's gonna
the
take
county.
time, trouble, equipment, men, and clean up all those trees that should have been taken out in the first place. Put the ditch where it was supposed to be in the first place, and then a shoulder so that it's safe. But Pee Wee is gonna be stuck with a
Is it
problem,
on one side or both sides?
mainly
On
side.
one side.
But it
The
affects the
contractor
other
didn't
side.
dig on the other.
But you can't meet a garbage truck or anything.
No, I have a renter, and she was going out, met the garbage truck, and they didn't know, they just were stuck. I mean, like, somebody had to back up and pull and turn in the driveway to get past each other. And before that, I have met semis with grain, and I've been able to get off enough for them to safely get by. It hasn't been an issue. But I guess what I really need to know is if it comes to July 27th, we haven't got anything in place, will there be a possibility we could get deputies to direct the traffic through there? Because I really have a legitimate concern about that. It's
I don't-
gonna be a problem.
I don't know if we could get deputies. We might be able to talk to the fire department to see if they.
That's
they'll
fine,
volunteer.
anyone.
Well, I might be able to help you with that side of it.
Yes.
But as far as deputies, I doubt.
It
we
doesn't
could
have to
get
be
that.
deputies,
But
but,
we could possibly get the fire department, but my anticipation is that we'll have it fixed by then.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
encouragement.
that would be great, and if not, I'm fine with the fire department, but I don't feel like I need to provide someone out there directing traffic on a public
Under-
road.
They can do what they want to,
So-
right?
Fred Beatty.
I'll do what I can. That's all I
Okay,
can offer you.
that's great,
I'll
and if you
do-
could help me
I'll
with
do what I
that,
can.
Why would you
that
do
would be great.
That's all I can
Because I don't
offer.
want to cancel the festival.
Oh, no, I don't want you to
And-
cancel the festival.
and-
I've seen it.
If I can't get someone to direct, we'll have to for safety reasons,
Yeah,
because
that has to
I don't
be
want
fixed.
vendors and
County attorney
customers
needs to
to
send him a letter,
end up there.
Well,
Could you, could you, I
tell
mean,
him to
like,
get it fixed.
so if the
to-
county
to
fixes
the
it,
county standard.
if the county fixes it and you send him a bill, I mean, and I'm just asking this, what makes him pay it? I mean, like,
You'd have to ask Judge.
I mean, we would have to potentially go to court. I'll also say the problem with him fixing it, I'm all for that, but she's also wanting something done by July 27th, so we're in a spot there. I'm just gonna say, I mean, I got the specific facts of this morning at about 7:45, so I haven't talked to Pee Wee at all about it. I don't know what conversations have been had. All of that sounds good and possible, but I don't want to make guarantees on all the levels of liability that have been thrown out there without having more conversations with the people who've actually been out to the side on the ground from the county side. But I am in favor of that, but that is to fix this one situation. But moving forward, the best way to do it would be for us to proceed on with having a more formal process to where, and I mean, you would have a better knowledge of what we require of people, but having that insurance policy or pot of money to call until their permit is released, because we've given their construction a clean bill of health at this point. Doing it on the back end, you're basically starting a civil lawsuit to recoup that, and we can entertain that. It's just, this is the much more harder way to do it on the back end, but I don't know how to resolve those two where we get it done as timely as she would like and make him do that. Maybe Pee Wee and the judge can get out there and do that, and we can see, and if I have to get involved and send letters and potentially file action, we can talk about that as well. But
Well, my thought on that is, because I have brought it up 2 different court meetings. I have. And my question on that is, would it be advantageous and the right thing to do, and I come from the right thing to do, to send the man a letter? If this is not corrected,
I will consider that, but I also don't want to make that affirmative statement without talking to the people who've already talked to him. I don't know what conversations have been had. As a lawyer, it would be a bad idea for me to guarantee I'm going to do something without knowing all the facts.
well, I just meant he'd probably prefer the road company to do it and then reimburse them. That was all I was trying to say.
Yes, but that's probably going to go a lot better if the person who's been in a conversation with him has that conversation with him.
So I need
and
to
it's
have
not,
a conversation with
no,
him. It's not my
well,
jurisdiction.
not you, but Pee Wee has had conversations with him, I'm assuming. I thought you all had said that. Have we-
Say it one more time.
Has Pee Wee, I thought Pee Wee had a conversation.
Pee Wee had a conversation with him and showed him exactly what needed to be done, and he chose himself to do it the way he wanted it done.
So-
which is totally opposite of what was suggested. So with that being said, I have his phone number. I will be requesting a meeting with him and show him exactly. But at this point, I'm not willing to let him do any of the work
Okay.
because he's proven he can't do it
Exactly.
right.
We also need to know that it's going to cost a lot more money for the county to do it and him reimburse the county than it would
Exactly.
be if he did it, because we can't do this every time. We can't do this every time someone wants to build a house and do something wrong. It's, everybody's time, everybody's, his office time and all that can be billed to him. I mean, any time spent at all on this,
I agree. I agree.
any
Man,
Joe's time or.
I don't, you'd have to ask Chris, but I mean, you just disturbed compacted soil all the way up to the edge. And that's not just put dirt back and we're good. That ain't the same thing, I mean, I don't know what it's gonna take to get a compaction stout enough for a shoulder, wide enough to keep the rest of that road from washing away. You can't just dump dirt, and I don't even see rock taking care of that. As far as
Go
the,
back there with something a little smaller than channel line and start at the ground and don't put out and put it in a little time and compact it until we get it up to probably 6 inches of blacktop, and the rest will be disc scraped where you'll have a smoother surface. That's the only way you'll be able to fix it correctly.
yeah, that's what I figured.
How long will that take, Pee Wee, if you don't mind my asking?
We can do it probably in a good, maybe 2 days at the most. We just got, blacktop is my main concern. If we go up there, and that was with the flex road side, we had to get it done before we could get our flex money. So we gotta wait until this blacktop cures. If I get on that shoulder, within a foot of the shoulder, he's taking a chance of breaking it off, and we've lost the road completely.
They need the bill for that.
Exactly.
Absolutely, you need to bill for it. You go and do it, and it tears it up. That's part of it.
Well, you did explain that.
That's gonna be
I need
half a million,
everybody to hear.
$250,000
you explain
deal.
it
I mean,
to
it'll be a
me,
lot of money.
Because,
Oh, yeah. Every
curing of
minute,
the pavement
everybody's
is
time,
not
bill
what
every
everybody's
single bit of it.
listening
I don't know how much
for.
it
They're
is, but
listening for.
it is what it is. If it tears the road up,
If the curing is not correct,
Hundreds of-
whatever fix we do,
Work off. If you get over too close to the blacktop, it'll roll the blacktop. It'll take a foot or so, it'll go back up into the road from the way and fall off and then you drift.
okay,
Thomas, it's the
so
same one
she needed to
that
hear,
had that pound
Beverly
stuff.
and Catherine, thank you for your
Yes.
patience. She needed to hear that part, because we're looking at not being able to fix it the way you suggested until it's cured. And that probably will interfere with their endeavor.
It will. But if Judge Baker will help me with getting someone to direct the traffic through that section of the
I will
road,
Do what I can with The fire department's probably about the closest I'm gonna be
Right.
able to get at this
Okay.
time, but I will start making phone calls for you.
That would be great. I would appreciate it so much. And I'll be talking to you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Just follow up. How common is it for contractors to dig parallel ditches on our roads?
And do what now?
How common is it for the contractor to do these parallel ditches that you don't self-perform? Like AP Miller, for instance, like, did you cut all that ditch on AP Miller, or did the contractor do all that?
We put some over there, but then contractors come in and they, of course, it's usually all in semis come in and out, or they crush the pipe, they get in the ditch, break the shoulder of the road, so I mean, that's just
But I know like you all put the culverts in on AP Miller Road, but did you cut the ditches too?
the ditches are already there.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is to me, the same principle applies if any contractor is doing ditch work.
Right.
It's no different than the encroachment ordinance that we have for utilities.
Right.
That they gotta put the bond and the insurance up. If they're working in our right of way and they're gonna self-perform parallel ditching,
Yeah.
they ought to follow the same procedure. It's no different.
But is there teeth? Okay,
Yeah, the trouble with all this is that we don't have any code enforcement.
We don't have any type of code enforcement, and we don't have an actual,
even for utilities.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty well. I mean, unless somebody just, you or I,
and our
drive by
road,
and see it and
Pee
bring
Wee
it
and
up.
our road crew does not have time to chase every one of
Exactly.
these guys constantly. And that's just.
Okay, well, I think we've covered a lot of
but
things here.
I was getting at is, it's really no different if
It's
we
absolutely
require
zero
those of the
difference.
utility, we require those bonds and the insurance of the utility companies. Same thing should apply to any private contractor.
I agree with you, Chris. I think that was a way that I was thinking of looking at it. Obviously, you know this area better than I do, but I was thinking of something along the lines of that. So if there were a way to incorporate that and broaden it, I will say it is a little different from Scotty's, because Scotty's does have the contract with us and they're doing the work for us, so that we're a little bit more bound. This is a little bit more of a third-party requirement because the real contract they have is with the landowner, but we're still involved because of this. But the better we can get an ordinance that puts them on notice and requires something up front, the more likely they're going to be to come back, fix it, get it done quickly, because they want to get released from that bond or insurance requirement. And now we're doing this on the back end where we're having to collect a judgment and go after them.
So what do you recommend?
I think y'all got a whole lot of stuff on today. You all are making progress on that, but think about how you want to move forward with those issues of creating some sort of a permitting process and having somebody to monitor that, because the best way to make sure the work is done is have somebody that goes at the beginning and the end and says, this meets what our expectations are.
So that'd be their job?
Yes.
Or
Beginning.
part of their job or something like that. And that's, I mean, it's a good conversation to have on a budget day, where I know you all have really scrutinized the budget, because the more oversight, the more, I'm going to say big government you are, because you want the government doing more things in more people's lives, the more money that costs.
Exactly. Basically, what we're talking about is a code enforcement agent, and
So it doesn't do us all like, we got a lot of rules and laws, but if we don't have no bite
no one
to
there
our
to
bark,
bite, yeah.
they're not.
And most of that, maybe not in fine detail, we already have, the law is already in place. You are required as somebody doing business in Logan County to have all of the requirements by law, which includes workman's comp if you have employees, general liability, a business license to operate in the city and or county or both that you're dealing with, okay? The law is there. So the law is there and the encroachments are there. Those are our right-of-ways. It'd be no different if we had a piece of equipment sitting there and somebody went over there and took a baseball bat and tore it up. That person is liable for fixing it. So, I understand what we're talking about, what we're gonna do moving forward. What I wanna know is what we're gonna do today for Quarry Road. And in my opinion, today with Quarry Road, the contractor who did that needs to be put on notice that we're gonna fix it and we're gonna be sending them a bill for it. You can write us a check, You can get your insurance involved, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, that 1,000 feet of road has got to be fixed back to county standards. And I'm not in favor of contractors doing road work anyway, or drainage work, or tile work. That is our responsibility. And that way we can't point the finger back at somebody and say we did it wrong. No, our road department did it. If it's wrong, we go back there and fix it. But, they know not to dig right up against the paved road with a vertical line because it's going to collapse. So just get it fixed and call the contractor today and say, we need to meet out there and you're going to pay for this. And that is including the asphalt. If anybody goes out there and tears that asphalt up, I don't care if you wait to September. You've got a high probability that asphalt's going to go. That's the reason I don't ever pave until fall, but I understand you can't wait. Everybody can't wait to fall, but I never pave unless it's fall because, this is harvest time and y'all who have those, a lot of rural areas, you're going to get that, but it doesn't matter. My point is, if you go out there and fix it today, next month, September, October, I don't care. When you tear that road up, that is part of the responsibility of the person who did this to fix. That's all it is to it. He's got insurance, or should have. If not, that contractor needs to write a check.
But who, you said, let him know today, who, Thomas? Who do
We,
you want
we,
to do?
we will be dealing with that.
office.
The
Judge's
judge and
office
me,
deals
he
with
has
that. That's not
administrative
you,
authority
that's
that
not-
gives us more leeway, it doesn't have to be done at a fiscal court meeting. I mean, there's more than one way to handle this. We don't have to talk about it on the record. And legal matters, it's probably not the best thing to
Okay.
have this, but
Okay.
Ms. Browning wants to address the court.
I'm just an old woman and I was told not to say anything. But Mr. Bowen is exactly right. He is a contractor. He is a reputable contractor. He knows how contractors are supposed to be. We have I have on this farm he's talking about since before he was born, the early 80s. We've never had any trouble going in and out there for most. We could not get a combine in up there. We haven't needed to get a combine in up there yet because we didn't have wheat. We had to cross a neighbor's field to plant beans because they couldn't get a planter in up there. Come October, we're going to have trouble if something's not done. We've had that farm for over 40 years, and we've never had a problem going in and out before.
Kind of like Mr. Bowen says, it's not the county's responsibility, it's not the taxpayer's responsibility to put it right after it's done by somebody else.
That's right.
We agree, we all agree.
Thank y'all, I appreciate bringing it to our attention. That's when you don't have a code enforcement officer, that's what we rely on. And I know you've been working on that for a couple of court meetings, so hopefully it'll get done.
All right, any more? Please come up and state your name and your address, please.
Teresa Shepherd.
Debbie Strait, 108 Dakota Lane.
Okay.
Yes, apparently there have been one or more meetings here before the fiscal court regarding our property and the grass, the length of the grass on the property. And we received a letter, didn't invite us to come here to address the issue.
No, the letter was after the meeting.
Yes, it was. But it says we are knowingly permitting a health hazard to develop on the land through excessive growth of weeds or grass so that snakes, rodents, or mosquitoes breed on said property. Okay, that's the key point of the letter, and there's some code cited, state code cited on here. We have a complicated issue at our property. It was built on a hill, and so there's been an erosion problem since it was built. The prior owners put drain tiles along the back of the property, completely around the house, because there was water constantly coming down the hill. 2 years ago, our neighbors at the end of the road decided to put Genesis Ready Mix concrete service mixer servicing behind our house. They cut the entire top of the hill off, and it's gravel. So now all of that extra water that was being absorbed by the hill is running down on our property. We've got sinkholes now. It's down to the bedrock in places. I mean, so I'm on disability. She's a teacher. We have limited resources. And I said, let's use nature to slow this water down and stop our yard from washing away. Well, it's working beautifully. I mean, these heavy storms, it's been a trickle in the ditch instead of just dirt washing out of our yard. Okay, so the yard is on a slope. There is no standing water anywhere on our property. So there's no threat of mosquitoes, there's no snakes. We have lots of butterflies and bees and birds and things like that, deer sleeping in the grass, which I think those are all positives. But when Nathan showed up at our house on June 5th, before we even received this letter, I'm sorry, I have multiple sclerosis and sometimes I get brain freeze. So we were discussing the Genesis Ready Mix back there, and our pool, there was some stain that showed up under the pool that we spent hundreds, if not $1,000 last year. Chemicals trying to get the stain off, nothing took that stain off the pool.
Ruined. Yeah.
The liner's ruined. So my first thought is they're probably dumping stuff and it's coming down the hill. Now Nathan was kind enough to give me the number for state EPA, and I did call them. Someone came almost immediately, and they've already been found to be improperly storing tires. So talk about mosquitoes. That's huge mosquito risk. Everybody knows that staining water in tires is a huge mosquito risk. So we don't have any of that on our property. We're just trying to save our yard. And it's not like the entire yard is not mowed. It's partially mowed. We go around the perimeter and, you know, trying to keep it as nice as possible. Planting trees out there. So we're trying to kind of bring back some of the woods in the front yard. It's an acre lot, and there was absolutely nothing out there. So I don't understand why this is an issue. Particularly in the past, we've lived here since 2010. We've been in the county that entire time. Whenever we have an issue, such as illegal burns, people irresponsibly shooting guns, all sorts of things.
The noise.
Noises, all times of the day or night, which is also happening from Ready Mix. I could spend all day talking about that place. The sounds coming out, deafening, high decibel sounds coming out of there. But the response that we always get is, well, you're out in the county, so nothing can be done. So that's the response that we get. But then this, we get called on the carpet for having some natural land. So
We're not mowing.
Right, so I'm really, really confused. You know, we're trying to mitigate erosion. We're not trying to breed rodents or snakes or anything like that.
We're not trying to bother our neighbors. We're just trying to live in our house with all the noise in the back.
Well, it's in the front. We've got explosions from Hanson's across the street and the erosion in the back. We've got a dual thing happening. And so we're sitting right on the rock. So it's definitely causing problems with it.
Yeah, also, I'll say, you know, I think I think it was to you, maybe a couple of years ago or a year
Right,
or two
when they
was going to build the plant.
Mm-hmm.
And just like I told you, we don't have countywide zoning, planning and zoning, so we can't have a hearing. We can't decide. If someone knows property, we can't decide, unfortunately, I think that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, we can't decide on what goes next to neighborhoods and all that. But,
I'm sorry, you're going to have to explain to me because I don't understand that mentality.
There is no mentality. It's just a fact. We don't have countywide zoning.
Why not?
Just never have had countywide zoning. I mean, it's
I
been
can't believe
since the 70s.
I can't believe nobody has questioned some of these buildings and stuff. I can't
We've
believe that
been talking
Hanston
about
is in
that
the
for
city
past-
limits,
We've been talking
honestly.
about planning and zoning for the past year real heavily and real strong about planning and zoning, about adding planning and zoning. But, you know, I'm for planning and zoning, but not everyone is for planning and zoning. A lot of people out in the county are not for planning and zoning, so we have to respectfully talk to all of our constituents and figure out if that's the direction we want to go. I think we're at a point to where that we could go that direction, but that's not something that I can myself say, let's do planning and zoning. I can't
Well,
do
see,
that.
exactly what you're saying to me is it's the same response we've always received. There's nothing we can do. So you
Well,
see,
that's
I
not
don't even
totally
understand.
correct. So, you know, in Logan County, you live in a subdivision.
Yes, I do.
So there are rules and regulations about, you know, how a subdivision has to be, you know, can be developed and how big the roads are, and it has to be a plat, and there are different, you know, minimum standards. And we've addressed this, and Nathan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we've addressed this before, that you can't let your vegetation grow up because it impacts your neighbor. You know, whether, I understand, I'm not disagreeing what you are doing is the best thing for you. 100% agree with that. But you live in a subdivision and you have to abide by whatever that was. You knew it when you bought it. Dakota Lane hadn't been there since 2010, has it?
Oh, yes. Our house
Really?
was built in 2009. It was one of the first
Yeah.
homes on the
Okay.
street.
It's
Wow.
very close to the beginning of.
Time goes by quick. But anyhow, that was a platted subdivision, so you have to comply with whatever that is, you know, and, you know, neighbors in that neighborhood are complaining, you know, so we
Well,
wouldn't
the
be
neighbors
here.
next door are not.
Yeah, I don't.
Somebody way down the street might be complaining, but the ones next door to us are not, because we talked to both of
Well,
them.
Thomas,
And
I've
they
had-
understand
I've
the
had
predicament.
one, and it's not
We
in
wouldn't-
my
we
If
division.
somebody down the street's complaining, they don't have to look at our yard.
we wouldn't be having this conversation if someone did not complain. Like,
Right.
if it never got brought to us, Nathan will never send you a letter. You know, I mean, if everybody was happy about y'all having waist-high grass in the neighborhood, and we would never have this conversation. But the fact is that you may not hear it directly, and they might not want to tell you face-to-face, but they're not happy about it. That, you know.
So you're saying I can't re-wood the front of my yard? So I
like,
can't,
like trees, like.
yes, we've planted trees. I've got a tree garden out there. So that's the plan, is to turn it back into a wooded area and an otherwise more than half an acre empty front yard, which is just ugly anyway.
So. the
Whatever your
county-
subdivision
We-
stipulations are.
We didn't never received
don't
any
really have- it's not
subdivision
really a- yeah.
stipulations.
Oh, yeah, it's on your deed. Pull your deed and then also look at the, go to the
Clerk's
help me-
office.
the clerk's office would
Clerk's
have it
office
in the
has
plot plan for the countywide, Logan County zoning. would
We
have it.
probably wouldn't get involved in the deed issue, but the problem here is what is on the books. It's the height of the vegetation does kind of fit into that. My thought would be, is there some sort of happy medium we could try to reach? If you got the trees in there, is that going to fix the erosion issues that would then allow you to get the weeds down? And I'm
Well,
asking
that'll
questions because I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I'm
Well, as
just
the trees
just-
grow, the
just-
grass is gonna, die out anyway. That's
Is there
just
a
the
way
nature of
to
forests.
cut the grass down but not put it all the way down? So like to get it cut down somewhat to where it's not so tall, because that's the concern, is when it's that tall, it has historically been found to, breed other things other than those good things that you're talking about with deer. Like, I woke up this morning and was having my coffee and there was a deer eating in my front yard, so I totally get it. But I think it's just the height of it. So would there be some way to meet in the middle and just cut that down a little bit, but still leave you enough grass to address your erosion problem?
Well, I had been cutting the grass as high as my blades would go. So, and it wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
The yard was just washing away. The water just does not stand still in the yard. Our neighbors across the street, which I don't even know how they built that house there because it literally floods. They've got some pool there where they go out and shoot snakes. So they actually have snakes there. So I guess I'm lodging a complaint against them for actually having snakes in their yard.
The thing is, there's nothing that would prevent them from having snakes. It's the vegetation issue is the sole thing. And I
It
get,
is, there's vegetation
I
all
get
around
your,
it where they're just letting it grow up around this holding pond or whatever it is there.
well, and I will say then you can lodge a complaint with Nathan, and I will say Nathan's very reasonable and tries to work with people, and a letter is much better in my experience than, going with full, other recourse. So most of the time, he's just trying to work with you and find a happy medium. So if you want to consider trying to see if there's a way to do something in between the two positions, it might not be exactly what you want, but sometimes a compromise is better than somebody else making a decision that you're not going to like at all.
Well, I've got sinkholes out there, so I'm not sure what you want me to do about that. I can't drive over the sinkholes.
I mean, a weed eater? I mean, you can knock grass down with a
I'm
weed eater.
disabled, I have multiple sclerosis, she's a teacher, so she's not there. I can't do that. I mean, it's enough for me to even be able to mow the yard. So I've never been able to mow it regularly like some people do. They keep it like it's a golf course or
I bet
something.
you've got a couple of neighbors that would probably volunteer to do it to keep from having to look at it.
Well, I don't generally ask people for charity. I mean, they didn't help me when I had cancer, so
Yeah.
it's highly unlikely they're going to help in this situation. But I just don't understand it, how this can be an issue, but the sound and the effects of Genesis Ready Mix and the fact that it was allowed to be put there in the first place, and I was trying to deal with that while I had the cancer, and the noise is deafening, and I'm going to go after them. The EPA is going to come out and look at sounds, and they're going to come out and look if they've got all their manifests and documentation for collecting the fluids from all those vehicles. And as I said, they're not storing the tires properly. So one of y'all should go out and check that out yourself.
And ma'am, I'll
Do you
just...
lodge a complaint because we have them behind us?
Ma'am, I'll just say that EPA, that's going to be a federal and/or state agency, so they would enforce that separately than the Logan County Fiscal.
I understand that, but
I'm trying to address, so
I'm
I'm not going to talk over you, so at some point, we can have a discussion if I can't participate. But all I'm going to say is that I wish we did have more authority to just help people one thing at a time, but under laws, we don't have arbitrary authority, so we can only act when there's laws on the books that allow us to act. There's nothing in state law that prohibits somebody from firing a gun outside the city limits. The city of Russellville has passed an ordinance, so that's why that is something that can be problematic. There is nothing in the county, so I might agree with you. I hear people shooting guns at next to my property sometime. Nothing I can do about it, even as the county attorney, because we don't have a law in place before that. And that's because a lot of people here do value that. They like shooting, and I'm all for that. But, sometimes there are just loud explosions, I can say, in our subdivision, and Thomas is my magistrate. There used to be these just random explosions we would hear, and every time that happened, he would get 10 calls and I would get 4 text messages. But if there's nothing on the books that allows Logan County to act, we can't. So the things that you've complained about, there's nothing that is on the books that fits that. The nuisance with the vegetation is something that's on the books. So that's when the complaint got to Nathan, how that letter got sent to you. I would just say again, I'll finish with this and just say, think about it and see if there's some happy medium again, and see if that happy medium, I get it, nobody likes asking for help, but anybody who knows me knows I might be good in a lot of areas, but I'm incompetent when it comes to fixing stuff around my house, so I got to ask for help all the time, and I've got a lot of friends who help me. So if you've got neighbors that are willing to say, I'll come over there and I'll cut your weeds down by half, that'll be good enough for us, and it'll still be the erosion. Consider doing that just for all of us, because otherwise...
Well, I don't know who's complaining. We've spoken to our neighbors on either side, and they don't have an issue, so I don't know.
I don't know who's complaining either, but I mean, once the complaint's made, if Nathan can see it with his own eyes. But also I've seen Nathan, he's a patient man, and he probably gets tired of me saying, go back and try to work with them so that we don't have to take more formal action. So again, if we can meet in the middle, I always, as a lawyer, as a prosecutor, I like to have a compromise that makes everybody okay and not make it all or nothing, so.
So what height do you say, what height is approvable? I mean, what?
You say compromise,
Yeah,
so what is the compromise?
What is the compromise?
I've not,
Give us some
I've not
measurements
seen
so
it
we'll
other than
know.
a picture, so I can't see, but Tyler, do you have anything to throw out there as a stop, as a middle ground?
I mean, 'cause the law that's being used is a state law, right? It's on the books for the vegetation. Is that ours?
Yeah, it's
State.
There are state and then there are some with us, so.
Okay, but the letter referencing the county ordinance, there's a letter.
Kentucky Revised Statute 65.8840.
So I don't know if that law has
How about this? Why don't we send Nathan back out there if you're willing to do that, and we can get started on that, and if the neighbors are okay with that, then we'll let that resolve it, and if it doesn't, then we'll make sure to let you know before we take any other action.
See, the problem is on an ongoing basis, there's not going to be any way to keep it at the length it's going to need to be. I mean, like I said, when I was mowing it, with the clippers as high as they would go, it was not doing anything to stop our yard from just washing away. So it's got to be higher than that, or it's not going to help. And
I understand. I'm just asking you to consider what I've said and sleep on it. I don't think we're going to come to a resolution today, but maybe after having to sleep on something for a night in a week, you know, you might come up with something and Nathan can keep working with you.
You know, I still don't understand how industries can be built right behind residential neighborhoods. You know, the peace and tranquility of our home has been destroyed by Genesis Ready Mix.
I will say this, you might have a private right of action that you could pursue on your own in civil court. County doesn't have anything with that, but Tyler's right. Planning and zoning isn't popular, so it's been talked about for years, and it's never proceeded on, usually because the dissent has been louder than the people who want it. So follow the news media, and if you see that topic coming up, come up here and let your voice be heard and be somebody who's in favor of us implementing planning and zoning. Let your, participate in the political process, and you're both very articulate people and you have a lot of good things to say, so I think you would be welcomed at those hearings when we discuss that.
Just one more question I have is actually the zoning of our street being county. If you are on Stevenson Mill Road, there is a road further down on the right called Head Lane. So they're in the city, and that big empty piece of property down to 6880 is in the city limits. But our street is not in the city limits, even though we're on city utilities and everything. So what is the process by which a neighborhood gets incorporated into the city?
It's up to the city to, they annex what they want to be part of their annexation. So it's an annexation process for them to take over an area.
So why would that street over there that's further out in the county?
It's probably a question for whoever developed.
Yeah, I would say
It's the
the
same way all
developer.
around the bypass.
Because
Part
ours
of
was
the
a private
bypass is in
road.
the city, on one side of the road, part of it's in the county, it's just with the way it was designed.
Yeah, so like 2 or 3 years ago, the court voted, and we added y'all's road to the road system after many years of it not being on the road system because it didn't meet the specs, but we went ahead and added it.
That doesn't surprise me, frankly.
Yeah. So, being that it is a county road and it had to fall, so when it's to be taken care of, just like when we had it paid, as soon as we took it over, we had it repaid. So now it's our responsibility, but as far as that's separate from, the city, we can't tell the city who to annex or who not to annex. And I guess it was just a little piece that they got that's up above that. I'm not sure why Dakota Lane wasn't part of their annexation, but it's not. So
We sure wish it was, because we bought solar panels and.
yeah, I
we
saw
really
that.
need
I
to
drove
be-
by
We
yesterday.
really need to be part of
Yeah.
EPB, but
Yeah.
we're in the county.
Well, no, Actually, it would be better if we were on Penny Rile, because Penny Rile does
Rile, that's right, Penny Rile.
net metering and Electric Plant Board does not. So we're giving away so much electricity to the grid for absolutely zero benefit to us. And that, we got duped on that. We actually had fraud happen, and that's how we got into that. It's available statewide, but TVA for some reason doesn't want to participate in that. I think that they have ample resources to do that, but
We
We're
appreciate y'all.
the first people in
Thank
the
you for your
area that
time.
have solar. So
We
we're
appreciate-
done. Thank
we
you.
appreciate y'all coming.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That's theirs.
One of the things I forgot, the judges, is there any more, before I proceed, citizens' participation, is there anybody else? All right, one thing, I'm sorry. Cool.
You want to comment on anything that they said,
No, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your time, though. One thing that I missed in the judge's announcements, and I just got blasted by our
Denise?
is Cool Dogs and Hot Rods cruising
Oh.
Sunday, June the 30th. From 1 to 4 food trucks, Hot Rods, Clay's gonna be out there with his stuff, so please, if you have time, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., please show up. Before we move on to new business, let's take a quick 10-minute break. Whenever you're ready to put us back online, we'll go. All right, let's start with, back with new business. Start with new business item number 1. Approve the agreements with Laser Copy for copier maintenance for fiscal year 24-25.
So moved.
Second.
All right.
We ready?
I was going.
I've read that 10 times already.
Hey, I appreciate you guys being hit. Y'all get mad at me when
I mean, you're pleased with it, right? I mean, the service is great, they're local, right here.
They're local.
I mean.
All right, I have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Next up, approve the public official bond for the Logan County Treasurer Amanda Strack for fiscal year 24-25.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion, roll call.
I think it expired June 30th, but anyway.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
What?
She ain't said my name yet. The contract says effective 7/1, but expires 7/1, wouldn't it expire 6/30?
7/1 of 24 to 7/1 of 25.
So there's not a lapse in.
That's a year.
which
Yeah.
I'll have to look
It's
at
the,
like.
it's the next fiscal year,
See.
right?
Yeah, I know.
This-
It would expire on June 30th and then we start again.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm
I'll have to
saying?
look at her last
Huh.
one to see
Yeah.
what that one says, like if it expires 7/1.
Yeah.
If we have to do whatever it is.
Yeah,
But
all
I
right,
can-
whatever.
That's correct. That's correct because it's a midnight.
Davenport,
Yes,
Goodwin,
Yes.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
issue is midnight, huh?
11:59 p.m.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
There's 1 minute she's not bonded.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Yeah.
Bolden,
I got you now.
Yes, as they
Baker.
always do.
Yes.
366.
Item number 4, approve the amended contract with the Commonwealth of Kentucky regarding inmate state work crew. I guess what I'm asking for is,
Earthquake.
Earthquake.
what'd I say?
Inmate work.
You skipped number 3.
The earthquake insurance.
My apologies. That's what happens when I pre-mark them out. Okay, approve, number 3, approve the earthquake insurance renewal for fiscal year 24-25.
Did we decline that last year?
We never have. We've always talked about 30 minutes, but we never.
We're just close enough to that salt. Everybody's worried. This will be the year.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. There's no further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Kind of quasi on that one. Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Crawford. Yes. Bolden,
Yes,
Baker,
Yes.
just real quick,
How
just,
much is it?
so we have $55 million worth of insured property, okay?
Yes.
We only insure $10 million worth of the earthquake. So, you know, we don't take total, we don't take every building that we've got. We just say, hey, we're just gonna cover $10 million worth of that. It's so expensive.
And we manipulated that when we had a big increase. We
That's
raised our
right.
deductible and lowered the coverage.
That's
So
right.
you're explaining your concern.
Yeah.
Good for you, Thomas.
Well, I'm just, you know, I've always been the same way too, you know, let's take a chance, but I don't know, Jason explained it well. We used to, I don't remember what it
It was
was.
like $20,000.
Yeah,
And then it went to 30 and we're like, all right, let's look at this. Let's really consider.
we never insured 100% of the whole value of all of these properties, but, you know, we did insure more, and it finally just got so high that we just said, we'll just take $10 million worth of it and go from there.
And the idea behind that is if we ever had an earthquake, it wouldn't hit all the county buildings at one time. You know, it might be the Justice Center, it might be the courthouse.
Is it a stipulation on which ones it is? No.
It's a blanket
$10 million.
Blanket
cover.
cover.
Wherever it is.
Is that 55 million all fixed asset things, or does that include just all properties, like mobiles and like cars and all, or is that
No,
all
it's all
structure?
structure.
Really?
Yeah, it's not cars.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know it's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's go back up here.
That was good of you to
again.
approach that.
Approve the amended
Because I was-
contract with Commonwealth of Kentucky regarding the inmate state work crew. You guys approved this, as we said,
Yeah, we want
last
that.
meeting, I believe, and then that's when we realized that the actual salary schedule that we're using was wrong, so we had to get it updated. So that's what we're asking
Okay.
for approval for the amendment.
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Number 5, approve the salary schedule for all county employees for fiscal year 24-25 as requested by the auditor's office.
Judge, just a quick, what's the yellow highlighted individuals? Is there something significant? Was that? I noticed
Probably
some-
something she just added.
I noticed they were like June hires maybe. I didn't know if that was just.
Yeah.
What that was.
Find my,
I think
It's probably people in that gap they was talking about.
I'll tell you in just a
That
second.
couple-week
Since
gap.
right now, one of the yellows, because I'm not sure. Yeah, I believe those are new hires.
One of them's like March.
Yeah, there's only one of them.
Let me double check one out. It looks like one's not correct. Oh, no, probably the wrong one.
Yes, those are new hires.
Yeah, like I said, I think sometimes when they're open, and then like if Amanda puts that back in there, she'll highlight it because it's a new hire. It's nothing really, that's all, it's nothing,
It doesn't designate anything.
it's
other
nothing
than
special, no.
Then they're still on their first year. They won't
Yeah.
advance to the second year.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we've already had we've already.
Make a motion to approve.
Oh, second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? Not roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Number 6, approve the list of budget changes. These are the budget changes we made in the special call.
Motion to approve budget changes as presented for 24-25 budget that we discussed previously.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. These are all the changes we made during the special call meeting. With that being said, no further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Number 7, hold the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 24-220-02, the budget of fiscal year 24-25.
Judge, can I ask a question before that?
Try to answer.
Well, I was just scrolling through after we looked at the salary adjustments, the next screen, I guess is a supplement to it.
Which one?
That's not an official, that's just, what we use to estimate what the increase is gonna be. That is not actual. That's just a working document that's attached to that same spreadsheet. It's another tab that got printed with it. It's nothing.
I was just curious about what the vacancy
Yeah.
references and stuff was about. Sorry.
Yeah, I think those are just some notes that,
Those are,
that Amanda had put in there. Working on the budget, back when they were working on the budget. Sorry.
So we're on item number 7, which is adopting the budget, ordinance number 24-220-02, budget for fiscal year 24-25.
So moved.
Wow, it took a lot of work to just change those job titles. Wow.
Second.
I have a motion, and I have a second. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Moving on, number 8, hold the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 24-230-03, an ordinance updating the compensating plan and amending job titles at the Logan County Road Barn.
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right, number 9, that's the one we've all been waiting for. Discuss House Bill 829 regarding medical cannabis. So I sent you guys out just a heads up, and I know you guys have been on it at some of the meetings and whatnot, of the things that we can do as a county as far as medical cannabis goes. Number 1 is do nothing, and basically that is a yes vote. Number 2, we can pass an ordinance that prohibits, basically a no vote. We can pass a vote that says yes, or we can place it on the ballot and let the public vote on this. In order to do that, we would have to have a resolution passed before August the 13th.
All right, so it has to be worded a certain way to have the resolution.
The resolution is on
Well, I'll
the
make
ballot.
that, if you
That
need me
was-
to. 'Cause it-
Well, that was going to be my recommendation, is we let the public vote on this. According to the other counties I've talked to, Allen County has been one that has passed the no vote. I think, for some reason, I'm thinking Barron County has, and I apologize for not having that, but no, Barron County has not.
No,
My
but Allen
apologies,
County's
Barron
the
County
only
has
one.
not. The majority of the other counties in our Brad region is voting to put it on the ballot.
Yes.
Butler County is, Edmonson County is talking about it. Barron County has got a mixed court on what to do on that. Warren County, did they give us an option yesterday?
I get the impression that they were gonna put it on their ballot too. But he didn't say definitively like some of the others.
Right.
He kind of said, this is what we're looking at, but
Right.
they were leaning toward putting it on the ballot.
And what this does, it doesn't matter which way the vote goes. It does not matter which way the vote goes for Logan County. Russellville, Auburn, Adderable, Lewisburg can opt in or out how they choose. They can put it on the ballot how they choose. So it doesn't matter really what Logan County, we as a court decide. My recommendation is to put it on the ballot as a resolution and let the public vote on it.
Hey, I'm in agreement with that too, Judge. I just, anytime we get an opportunity to let the people decide.
Absolutely.
Let's take advantage of that.
Absolutely. On your drive, you will see a resolution that, it's the very last, it's number 10.1.
Yeah, but if you scroll like down the
Oh, I
last
just- yeah, I
two
just had
pages.
Oh, yeah, the last 2 pages of 10.1 on your drive is the resolution. Basically, Stacy, Stacy, I know this is going to affect you and your crew. Do you have any comments, suggestions, anything that you want to add to this? We would love to hear you come up and tell us anything.
Sorry, I was reading a text from a customer, but I do just want to verify, did y'all just say that you were considering putting it on the ballot? Okay, personally, I'm very proud of y'all because I think that is something that the people should decide. And as far as our office goes, I believe with you doing, putting it on the ballot, that's going to prevent anyone needing to do an intent to circulate a petition or get a petition out or anything of that nature. So you actually are making my job easier, although I'm down for whatever y'all decide to do. We'll do it. I've been trying to get ready, so whatever we need to do, we'll do it. We're here.
With that being said, you know, that's not, if the public comes back and says no, that still opens the chance that somebody can put a petition out there to reopen it.
Yes.
So we just have to remember. We also have to remember, if it passes yes, that's when we have to go back to work and work on the restrictions. Regulations.
Your policies.
For the county, our own policy for the county.
And I think we're in a presidential election, so I think it'll be well represented on what people feel. And how they,
Absolutely.
you know.
I mean, I really am, I'm going to be honest, I was telling the lady from Butler County yesterday, I'm kind of excited. I think we're actually going to see numbers, the numbers that we want, that we've been wanting to see. So we do the work regardless, so let's see them. Let's get them out.
You're going to have some records in November.
I'm hoping for over 50%. I really am. I know.
I think you'll get it.
I hope so.
Aren't there 3 other amendment questions or something like that?
Yes, there are. Yes, there's going to be, there will be, I believe it's 2 though, isn't it? I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't quote me on that. But I believe it's 2 coming in from the state level and then ours, there are marijuana questions.
Oh, just like that.
But,
Judge,
See this
I got a question. I don't know if Joe can answer this or what. But on the,
Thank you, Stacy.
on the opting in,
Yes.
in the businesses, is it the whole shebang thing? Like
Yes.
this cultivator, processor, producer,
Yes.
compliance?
The whole
If
thing.
you opt in, you have all. If they had separated where you could opt in for dispensary or whichever level, you know,
But
the cultivators or whatever, that would be totally different. That would probably change the discussion a little bit. But my thought, does that answer your question?
Well, yeah, but only the dispensary has a limit of 4 in the region. The
No.
others don't have a limit?
Well,
Or-
there's no limit for the region, but there's a limit on the overall cultivators. So there's only like 10 level tier
Yes,
1
of certain
cultivators.
levels, right.
So I think there's only gonna be like 18 cultivators in the state. So that don't mean that we're gonna get them. There's 44 dispensaries in the state. That don't mean Logan County will
Right.
get
Right.
one.
I knew about the 4
That's
limit.
exactly what
What,
they
they'll give the 4 limit of the dispensaries in the region.
But if
Our region, I found this out yesterday, our region does not match the Brad region.
No, it
Hart
don't.
County was pulled out of our region for
In fact,
that.
there's 10 counties in our region.
Right.
And the more that opt out, the better the chance we
better
would
chance
get
is
to
that
have one if we.
That county would get one. You're right, but you also got to remember, there's only 4. They're also going to do a lottery on these dispensaries, meaning that if 8 people put in for it, and 4 of them are side by side by side, they do the lottery, and those 4, if that's the way they pull them out, that's the way they go.
But there are number limits on the other.
Correct.
Okay, I
I'm
guess
just not
that's the
sure
part.
what
The
those
other ones,
number
that's the
limits
thing I've never
are.
heard that much about, just
The growers,
dispensaries.
it's a whole big shebang.
I've heard
Yeah,
about this.
I mean, my understanding is what Jason says is there are tiers, so there's not going to just be an unlimited, and that would make sense because you don't want to have more people producing than you have people to sell it. So.
Exactly. So with that point, you as a court, we as a court have to decide what we're gonna do.
Okay. I'd like to make a resolution authorizing a referendum to determine whether cannabis business operations may occur in Logan County.
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second. Before we move on any further, is there any more discussion on this?
Let the people decide.
I agree with that 100%. With that being said, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Also, is to know, this is not recreational. If it does pass,
You're absolutely
you
right.
cannot roll it up and smoke it on the side of the road. I mean, it's not.
Yes, there is lots of
There's
rules and
not,
regulation, and Denise has done a really good job of putting that in the paper. She spoke about it yesterday on feedback. There's a lot of information out there. That does not mean that once this passes, you can just go do whatever you want to. This is not even a smokable
Form.
Thank
It's
you.
not a smokable form.
It's not smoke, it's for medical. You better have the card or you are going to suffer the consequences.
Yes.
All right, thank you all. With that being said, moving on to item number 10, review the administrative code for fiscal year 24-25. Nothing was changed. This is just something we have to do every year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. No discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 11, discuss whether to salvage or retain a 2022 Dodge Durango
You're
for
up,
the
Sheriff.
Logan County Sheriff's Department. It is now it looks like an accordion version at this point. Judge, or Sheriff, what's your thoughts on this?
Honestly, we still have the one from the last year's collision that got totaled. I hate to turn it over to salvage because it's still got some good stuff on it, but it's really not usable. Obviously, they totaled it, so just let it go back. I'm gonna strip out the equipment on it, so that'll save a huge cost on finding a replacement. So, just let it go, because salvage is fine with me.
So we haven't used any parts off of the other?
We've used a few things off Jason's, figures, little stuff, but I mean, the engine's still good, I mean, we still have all that, I just.
Repair is almost
And it's
the best
cool,
of it.
keep it, but.
I mean, you don't really have room in a place to have a junkyard, do you?
No.
What's the salvage?
Absolutely
value?
not. Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, you think for the $3,000 value, if we needed a motor or transmission or something, it's like, but we've already got one set in there.
I mean, some of the key components, parts wise, I mean, they could go through it and take some parts off of it, right? Like if they, other than the equipment, no.
Not really.
Okay, not,
You might
oh,
swap
salvage,
tires
yeah.
and rims out, it might not say nothing, but. If you take it, it doesn't have the
Oh, I was just
More than our age.
Well, Ginger's ride got hit in the front, and that one got hit in the rear. You think we could just make
Yeah.
marriage? Well, let's stamp it a Durango.
Here, I guess it's here.
So your recommendation is to salvage it?
Yeah, I mean, and I really don't even want to do that, but I just don't have to play it. You know, it needs to be inside, locked
Right.
up.
I agree.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if you had used every single piece of the other one, but you
I
haven't.
mean, I still have that engine.
Yeah.
That's for me, not you. What was the lowest bid we got to fix it? 21?
21,000.
21 was the.
Honestly, $13,000. But obviously,
It ain't on mine.
So that would have been
I'm so happy.
It ain't on mine.
Where's it
It's under that page.
I think you can read.
Here, I'll share with you.
Look.
The other two.
Oh, here it is.
Not far off from each other.
Here, you talk.
All right, well, based off the sheriff's,
Oh, we can still drive it. What's wrong with y'all?
where's
Told you,
that
I'm
at?
ready with
I didn't
Ginger.
see that.
Bottom.
Pictures of it?
Go to the picture.
Get an address out of that.
It's got all the bells and whistles. you know, slap some plastic on the back of it.
Plastic,
Might-
duct
Might
tape,
use some tires up there.
It doesn't look that bad.
camo, duct tape, won't even see her doing
So
it.
the salvage value was like,
3,000 was the highest bid.
I
So you
know.
could buy it back for 3,000 if you wanted to.
yeah, and this is what it's gonna cost to repair it.
No, that's how much they're gonna pay you for it.
Based on the sheriff's recommendation, I'll make a motion to
But you give them the bid.
salvage
Or
the
you can take
2022
3,000 off
Dodge
that.
Durango.
Second.
I got you, I got
Okay,
you.
I have
now.
a
I got
motion
it,
and
I
a
got it.
second. If there's no further
I'm not sure I read
discussion,
that.
roll call.
Yeah, I didn't.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes,
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. With that being said, Chris, I found the information you were asking for. A tier 1 cultivator, there will only be 10 allowed. This is per the state. 10 in the state. A tier 2, 4. A tier 3 will be 2. At this point, they're accepting 0 tier 4s. And the processors will be 10 and dispensaries will be 48. And that's where we get the breakdown of the 4 per region on that.
So we're
So,
at 48 dispensaries
yes, across the state.
across the state.
Across the state.
44 with Lafayette and Jefferson County having 2 additional ones.
Yes,
per
I think that's correct. And so basically, out of those 4, it looks like you've got 16 different cultivators supplying those 48 dispensaries.
And the dispensary license is $30,000 a year. I can't remember what the cultivator is.
25.
I think the
The dispensary license was 30,000, the tier 1 cultivator is 12, tier 2 is 25, tier 3 is 50, tier 4 is 100,000, the processor is 25,000. The safety compliance facility is 12,000. And that really pretty much matches their annual renewal fee also. So, with that being said, that takes care of all of our new business. We have no reason that I know of to go into executive session. So with that moving forward, do we have anything for,
I'm gonna keep it to its
do we have anything for post agenda?
Second.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn in a second. All in favor?